Hey, welcome back. Cooking on the Farm with Ms. Holmes. Here we go for today. Remember, yesterday we cooked breakfast banchans. Today we are going to cook kimchi fried rice. But first, we must wash our hands. Nice music, wash my hands too. Still in K-pop, still in Korea this week. "20 seconds goes fast with some good music. All right. Now we are ready to go. So today for our kimchi fried rice, we're gonna jazz it up a little bit. First, this is the rice from yesterday that we made, our multi-grain rice. We had a little bit left over after breakfast. Everyone loved their breakfast banchans, and it was all I could do to say, wait, there's more. I'll make you a great snack. So kimchi fried rice, very simple. We've got our rice, got kimchi. I think the spicier the better. And then a little addition that you might find in your pantry these days is Spam. Delicious, used in the right way. This is what we could find back in our pantry. Great way to use it up, a nice little pantry hack. And then we're also going to put in a duck egg. So this duck egg, one of my ducks just laid it today, earlier this morning, which is just great. So I'm gonna start with first taking some of the kimchi out. I can just use my fingers because I just washed my hands. However much you think you want. And we're going to just chop it. Oh, my cutting board is a little wiggly. I know what to do to solve that. Hang on. I've got a easy little cloth here. I'll wet it. Put it down first. Put my cutting board back on top of that. Safety first. Now, much better. And continue to chop. My kids like smaller pieces of kimchi in their kimchi rice. It does not have to be perfect. Put this over a strainer to get all of the good juices out, and I will even kind of push it a little bit down. Draining out some good juice. And then we're also going to pop out our Spam. Whew, exciting. I don't think I'm gonna need all the Spam, but I'll cut just a couple slices. That's probably plenty for now. I'm gonna cut this into bite-sized pieces. Again, careful with the knife and doing the claw, always the claw. Using my knuckle to guide my knife. There you go. That's all we need for right now. I'm gonna check my kimchi. That's not nearly enough juice for my liking. So what we'll do is make sure we get a little bit of extra juice. You can even kind of, there we go. Let that continue to drain while we start to fry our rice. So over here, have our trusty stove. When I make fried rice, I like to use a nonstick skillet. Just makes it a little bit easier. I can use less oil and still get the results I want. I'm going to use just a little bit of canola oil. It's probably a tablespoon. And I'm going to carefully put my rice into the pan. Get that going. Crank that up so it's nice and hot. While that is heating up, we'll come back here and check on that. That's looking good. And I have my duck egg. I'm going to crack that into a small bowl. Remember we talked about duck eggs yesterday. We happen to have duck eggs because we also have ducks. And we love the duck eggs. The major difference is, you can probably see this, the yolk is a lot bigger and it's a little bit richer, which we love. I'm gonna mix that up. Give myself some chopsticks. Just kind of mix that a little bit. Get that going. All right. That looks good. Let's come back to our rice. Now it's starting to sizzle. Carefully break it apart. I like to really try and think about how I'm really pressing the rice to make sure that as much of it gets, I want every kernel, every grain of rice to feel the heat. Now, this is something that is total thrift cooking. You can use rice from the day before. You can use rice from takeout. If your parents have ordered rice, you know, from a restaurant. You can even make rice and freeze it, save it just for this. We have been known to do that. Warming that up. Almost ready. So we'll take our Spam next. You really can add anything you want. This is just the straight up simple recipe, very similar to what I posted on our Google Classroom. Can be an easy little snack, or it can be a whole meal, depending on what you put in it. If we make bibimbap the night before, which is mixed up rice, we might have leftover bean sprouts or spinach banchan. We had no spinach banchan left after breakfast this morning. Everybody was so happy with it. They ate every last little scrap. So unfortunately, we didn't have any of that left. Now we're going to add our kimchi, nicely chopped up. Remember, the rice that I made yesterday is not just rice, but it is also different grains. It's a way of just adding more nutrition and more flavor. So I like to get things warm. I like to see that some of my Spam is starting to get a little color. You can see that one is nice and toasty. Before I add the kimchi juice, I'm sorry you can't smell this. I'm going to drizzle in the juice. that get nice and hot. Now we're going to add our egg. Just going to drizzle that in. Quick stir. That's great. Finally, I like to do this off the heat, so I'm going to turn off the flame. Add in a little bit of soy sauce. If you add soy sauce while you're cooking, it has a tendency to kind of caramelize and sometimes taste a little burned. So I like to do that off the heat, as well as, of course, some sesame oil. Just make it really extra luxurious. That's it. Get a nice little bowl. I just think fried rice is so great because it's so much more than a sum of the parts. It just started with a little bit of rice, a little bit of kimchi, a little of this, a little of that, and we now have a whole big serving. That's plenty. A couple more chopsticks. Let me just try it and just make sure. Oh yeah. That was so good. I hope you too can get creative with your leftovers and make something like kimchi fried rice. Happy cooking!